For a long time in America, the ultimate sign of success was driving out of the dealership in a brand new car. That fresh new car smell, the feeling of being the first and only owner, the pride of showing everyone that you had finally made it. That was the dream. Owning a new car wasn't just about transportation. It was a symbol, it was validation, it was proof of achievement. But that myth is falling apart, and fast. The truth is that more and more Americans are realizing that buying a new car, loaded with long loans, interest, and instant depreciation, can easily be one of the worst financial moves of your life. On the other hand, quality used cars, already depreciated and bought intelligently, are becoming the new rational choice. Not because they look better, not because they attract attention, but simply because they make far more financial sense. The reality is brutal. The second you drive a new car off the lot, it loses value. It is not an exaggeration. In the first year alone, it can lose 20 to 30% of its value. You pay the full sticker price for something that, the very next minute, is worth thousands less. And if you finance that car, the situation is even worse. You spend years making monthly payments on an asset that is worth less with every passing month than it was when you signed the loan papers. Now compare that with buying a quality used car. A car that's 3, 4, or 5 years old has already passed through the steepest part of depreciation. That means the price you pay is much closer to the real market value of the vehicle. From that point on, the fall is slower, and in the long run you lose far less money simply because you didn't step into the trap of paying for that inflated, brand new tag. And this isn't only about numbers. It's about the experience too. Many new entry-level cars in the US deliver only the bare minimum. Cramped space, cheap finishes, weak engines, and limited safety features. They're marketed with the promise of new, but in practice you're paying a high price for very little. On the other hand, when you shop for a well-kept used car in a higher segment, you step into a completely different world. Bigger cabins, real comfort, stronger suspension, advanced safety tech, features that make driving safer and more enjoyable. It's the difference between simply owning something that moves you around and owning something that truly delivers quality. And here's another key point. It's not only new cars that come with the trap of financing. In America, most people finance used cars too, and the illusion is exactly the same. If you buy a decent used car but sign up for 60 or even 72 monthly payments, that financial relief you thought you were getting disappears. The car might cost less than new, but the interest still turns an affordable asset into a heavy, expensive debt. When we talk about used cars, most people picture paying cash. And yes, that's the perfect scenario. You save, you buy, and from day one the car is yours outright. But let's be real, very few Americans actually wait long enough to pay cash. The culture here is monthly payments. People finance almost everything, from phones to furniture to cars. But there's a crucial difference. A short loan on a used car is not the same as a long loan on a new one. Financing a brand new vehicle for 72 months is financial quicksand. You pay interest for years, you lock yourself into a huge commitment, and you watch the car's value drop like a rock. In the end, you hand over almost the value of 2 cars to the bank and get back one that's worth half of what you paid. With a used car, if you finance short-term, 12, 18, 24 months, you're playing a completely different game. Yes, you still pay some interest, but the bite is much smaller. The car has already gone through the worst of depreciation, so the risk of losing money is lower. It's like the first owner absorbed the biggest financial punch, and now you're stepping in smarter. You borrow less, you pay it off faster, and in a short time you're the real owner. But the rule is clear. The shorter the financing, the better. Because a used car only makes sense if it doesn't come with a mountain of debt. Stretch it out 1 or 2 years, and it's reasonable. Stretch it out 5 or 6 years, and you're falling into the exact same trap as the person financing a new car. That's why the truth is simple. The used car pays off because it's already taken the depreciation hit. But it only becomes a truly smart financial choice if you cut down the debt tail as much as possible. Few will pay cash, true. But those who keep their financing short are miles ahead of the people buried in 72 months of a new car loan. Meanwhile, those who buy used wisely, with cash or minimal financing, live in a different reality. The car is theirs. There are no monthly bills eating their paycheck, no hidden interest charges, No feeling of being chained to a vehicle that stopped being exciting the day after it left the lot. The used car brings peace. And peace, in the financial world, is priceless. Now think about the impact on your life. When you sign up for high payments on a new car, you automatically reduce your freedom. Your paycheck already comes compromised. Your margin to invest, to save, or simply to enjoy life shrinks. Each month becomes a race to keep up with your car note. And that doesn't even include the extra costs. Higher insurance premiums, higher registration fees in states where value determines cost, and dealership maintenance that charges more simply because it's a new car. With a used car, especially when chosen carefully, those costs are smaller. Insurance is cheaper, registration follows the lower value, and you're free to take it to independent shops instead of being tied to the dealership. Yes, there's always the risk of buying a poorly maintained car, but that's where research, inspections, and patience come in. When you choose right, the used car becomes an ally, not a burden. And here's a psychological factor people rarely admit. Many Americans don't buy a new car because they need one. They buy it for status. It's the illusion that a new car will make people look at you differently. But that effect lasts a few days at best. The first week your friends and neighbors notice, maybe they comment, but soon it fades. A year later, a newer model comes out, and you're still stuck for 6 or 7 years making payments on something nobody cares about anymore. The used car might not draw the same immediate attention, but it gives you something no brand new badge ever will: peace of mind. This shift, from chasing status to embracing rationality, is already happening in America. More and more people realize that driving a paid-off used car is far more powerful than parading a financed new one. What truly matters isn't the new car smell, it's freedom. Freedom to invest, freedom to sleep well, freedom to spend your money intelligently. What was once considered cheap, driving an older car, is now a symbol of maturity. Because today, when people see someone in a brand new entry-level sedan, they don't think that's success. They think, I wonder how much their monthly payment is. Meanwhile, the person in a well-kept used car shows intelligence. They're not falling for the trap. They're not chasing appearance. They're building stability. At the end of the day, the choice between a quality used car and a new one is about mindset. On one side is the hunt for instant validation, no matter the cost. On the other side is the pursuit of freedom, even if it comes without glamour. And the second choice always wins in the long run. New cars lose value, but debt keeps growing. Used cars lose a little, but they keep your life light. The math is simple: less debt, more freedom. Less empty status, more peace of mind. So next time you step into a dealership and hear the salesman promising a low monthly payment, stop and ask yourself, do I want this car to impress others? Or do I want it to give me freedom? Because in America today, freedom is the true luxury. The real upgrade isn't driving a brand new car full of debt. It's driving a used car that's fully yours, knowing your money can now work for you. And that luxury isn't measured in new car smell. It's measured in peaceful nights of sleep and in a future built without invisible chains.